Okay, so the Ottawa Senators fall to the Vancouver Canucks 3-2 in overtime in what was one of the Sens' best games of the year, I think. Really no lineup notes to record in this one just because the lineup stays exactly the same from last game. Decord starts in net again for Ottawa. Thatcher Demko starts in net for Vancouver. And just a spoiler alert, Demko was really good in this one. 10:14 into the first period, Jace Hawryluk, a former Ottawa Senator, would score his first of the season. And again, that was just the most Sens goal against ever, just because of the fact that, Hawryluk's right in front of the net. There's Ottawa players back. There's bodies around him, but no one really takes Hawryluk. They let him bang away, and the puck goes in. The Sens really get victimized a lot in front of their own net. That's an area they have to clean up here. Then with 1:11 left in the first period, a very strange play would happen as there was a scrum along the walls. There was like two Sens players, two Canucks players trying to dig the puck out, dig it free so they could go up ice or so the Canucks could keep it in the zone in Vancouver's case. And Colin White, I don't know if someone called out to him or not, but he makes a perfect backhand pass. I'm not saying this to be sarcastic or funny, but it's literally, he makes a perfect backhand pass right onto the tape of Tanner Pearson, who blasts one home past Joey Decord to make it 2-0 Vancouver. I mean, Colin White's probably feeling all kinds of shame at this point. I felt so bad for him. I really like Colin White personally, so I felt extra bad for him in this situation. And I just want to say that earlier in that first period, when the Sens were leading the Canucks in shots like 9-3 or something like that, it definitely didn't feel like the Sens were, ahead 9-3 in shots. I kind of felt they were shooting from everywhere early on, giving Demko some easy stops the first 10 minutes of the first period. I thought Vancouver had more zone time in Ottawa's end, even though they had a lot less shots. But I thought as that first period went on, the Sens started to generate more high danger opportunities on Demko rather than just, these far out easy shots or shots from angles that he can easily stop. The shots did end up being 18-9 for Ottawa in that first period. So the Sens are down 2-0 heading into the second period. And what do you have to do to get yourself back in it if you're Ottawa? Well, you get a goal from Josh Norris, 3:52 into the second, his sixth of the season, assisted by Tim Stützle and Artem Zub. And for Norris, he's been kind of quiet of late, so hopefully this goal will get his offensive game going again. And if he can get going, that'll really be a big benefit for the Sens going forward. This was a good goal too. Stützle he took a shot, it hit off the crossbar. And, I want to just say this, that the Canucks' two best players in this game, I thought, were Thatcher Demko and the goalpost and the crossbar. So I guess that makes three best players if you include the crossbars and the goalposts. But all that aside, Stützle hits the crossbar, it comes to Norris, he bats it out of the air past Thatcher Demko into the net and cuts the Canucks lead in half. And despite the Sens only out shooting the Canucks 11-7 in that second period, it was kind of the polar opposite of the first 10 minutes of the first, where I thought Ottawa, even though they had a lot more shots in Vancouver, I still felt the Canucks were kind of the better team a little bit for that first 10 minutes of the first period. But Ottawa, even though they didn't outshoot Vancouver by that much in the second, I thought the Sens were the far better team that whole second period. And then late in the second period, a very scary incident would happen as there was a one draw by Vancouver, and there was a blast shot, I believe, taken by JT Miller, if I'm not mistaken. Austin Watson comes out to block it. It hits him, I think, in the neck area. That was a very scary incident to see for sure. And, I mean, thank God Watson's okay because, that puck's really hard. And if it hits you in a sensitive area like that, it could really do some damage. And then the Canucks would get a power play a little bit later in that second period. And guess who's out there killing the penalty? It's Austin Watson. So go figure that. I mean, this guy, like I said in a previous video, I was never that big of a fan of him. I mean, I'm still kind of not, just because I'm not big on how he plays the game. And also there's a couple off-ice incidents too that happened with him a couple years ago, which we won't get into here. But with all that being said, I mean, he's doing everything he can to try and win me over, it seems like. Obviously he doesn't know I exist. I'm just kidding, of course. But man, what a character guy he is as far as, playing. When I think of tough hockey, that's what my definition of tough hockey is: getting out and blocking shots, not necessarily always running guys over and stuff, but getting out, blocking shots, and just totally putting your body on the line at all costs. And Austin Watson definitely does that. So then we go to the third period, and obviously Ottawa has 47 seconds of penalty time to kill off, which they do fairly easily because, I find penalties that carry over into a period, there's really not much going on for the power play team in that case, and that was the case for Vancouver. But with that being said, it did seem to give the Canucks a little bit of momentum because I thought that first, 8 minutes or so, they really were having a textbook defending the lead on the road type of period as they just kind of kept throwing the puck in deep. They kept grinding Ottawa down. There was a couple plays there where Bo Horvat was stopped by Joey Daccord too. He made a huge save in that third period to give his team a chance to tie it up. To be honest, I thought the Sens' first 10 minutes of that third period was pretty disappointing for a team that was trailing in the game, but I kind of attributed it to, okay, it's a back-to-back. I guess they just ran out of gas here in the third period. But then no, the final 10 minutes of the third, they get back on the horse. They're all over Vancouver again. They're forcing Demko to make huge saves. And the shots in that third period, when at one point I believe it was like 6 or 7-2 for Vancouver, it ended up being 17-11 for Ottawa, so that really tells you what the Sens did in that final 10 minutes of that third period. 2.5 minutes to go, the Sens would pull the goalie, get the extra attacker out. Guess who the extra attacker is? Colin White. Good on DJ Smith for getting him back out there despite making an egregious mistake like that. You gotta give these young guys confidence, even if they do make an egregious mistake like Colin White did. Fortunately, he gets White back out there. And then, with 2:10 left in the third period, Brady Tkachuk passes it in the slot to Colin White, and Colin White redeems himself by wiring it past Thatcher Demko. What a shot by White. Game is tied up at 2, and the Sens at least deserve to be tied in this one, if not ahead. And on that play, I don't know if too many people saw this, but when Brandon Sutter was on the ice there trying to get the puck out, he kind of batted it actually towards Tkachuk. Tkachuk lost it first, and then Sutter had it, and he was meaning to bat it by Tkachuk. And then Tkachuk gets the puck. He bats it right on Tkachuk's stick. Tkachuk passes in the slot, and then we all know what happens. Colin White scores. I'll take it, though. The Sens more than deserved that. And they were just a better team than in Vancouver for most of this game, for sure. So we go to overtime tied at 2. There was some controversy in this one as DJ Smith, again, strikes again with his player deployment. So for the Sens, Brady Tkachuk, he starts the overtime. Thomas Chabot, I believe, and Josh Norris. They have like a 35 second shift maybe. They come off the ice. Canucks ice the puck 1 minute in after the Sens got a few other different players on there. Those guys come off. So instead of putting ultra fresh players on the ice against the Canucks tired players who just iced it, what does DJ Smith do? He puts out the guys who are already out there just not too long ago. And Brady Tkachuk and Thomas Chabot, and I believe Batherson, he kept him on the ice because he was out there just the shift when the Canucks iced it. And what happens 20 seconds later, or 40 seconds later? JT Miller, okay, Chabot, first of all, the change was bad on Chabot's part. He could have been quicker but to the bench, but I think it's because he was tired, didn't have enough time. By the time the other Sens player got on, I can't remember who it was, he didn't have enough time to get back into play. So Brady Tkachuk standing alone on an island. JT Miller absolutely dances him out of his shorts, and he just goes all the way in, all alone on Daccord, makes a really nice move, scores the goal, puts the game away, assisted by Hughes and Horvat. That was a really poor decision by DJ Smith, and that's why I get frustrated with him. DJ Smith, the man, I like him. He seems like a good guy, like I've said before. But as a coach, I don't know. He makes some pretty mind-boggling decisions. Despite the Sens playing really well and deserving this game, they make a move, or the coach makes a move, that shoots them in the foot and hands the game to the opponent. But those are my thoughts on this game. Let me know what all of you think in the comment section below, especially about that finish and the DJ Smith decision making in that overtime. So let me know all that and more. Please like and subscribe and share this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.